Outrageous. Matt Gaetz and Karen Bass have yelling match during committee hearing, complete with table pounding. That's what media does, right? Keep selling drama.
Questions of the person who created a great deal of confusion by saying that this matter was for the women. And I appreciate her yielding to a few questions that I think clarified that point. If the gentlelady would yield to another clarifying question, and I'm not here to make a partisan argument. I'm here to understand the effect of the bill and what you're talking about in support of the bill. You used the phrase
Yeah, keep in mind, I never take sides. I look at them for what they are and what's coming out of their mouth. Not to mention that I don't believe in any of them, especially people in politics, and we need to make them accountable.
Questions of the person who created a great deal of confusion by saying that this matter was for the reproductive freedom of women. And I appreciate her yielding to a few questions that I think clarified that point. If the gentlelady would yield to another clarifying question, and I'm not here to make a partisan argument. I'm here to understand the effect of the bill and what you're talking about in support of the bill. You used the phrase unborn child in your most recent debate. What does that phrase mean to you?
Mr. Gaetz, Ms. Bass would like to answer your questions.
Well, then she can strike the last word.
I am finished with you right now, and I do not yield.
So that's...
She sounds like a mother, grandmother, mother. I'm finished with you. You're supposed to be a professional. And in the government, what? But of course, guys, see, they just look different. But do you really think they're any different than the people at the DMV that we all can't stand? To wait in line for hours? To be treated like shit? You know what I'm talking about. Why does everybody act like this doesn't happen? These cannot be taken serious. They should not be getting paid. They should all be fired. Or at least have some coach like me go in and have a bunch of coaches like me to go in because I can't coach all of them, right? Meaning I'm willing to do something. I'm willing to help. At a local level is where it starts, which you guys are going to see. I am getting involved in something, but I haven't announced it yet. Stay tuned. I will be doing it and I will be videotaping it. I'll share it with you guys for sure. I put my money where my mouth is. So I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not going to do.
Telling, right? I mean, I'm just here trying to get answers to questions. Ms. Bass, you didn't use the words that were confusing, so I'm not going to yield to you.
And it is my bill.
But you didn't use the words in description of it.
And guess why?
It was Ms. Ross who used.
So she's raising her. So he's raising his voice, but let's look at how she's raising the voice. He already said just answer the question. He's, maybe he is putting an act, but most likely when somebody doesn't answer your question, your reaction is impatient and it can get there very quickly. Where they're screaming, when you're yelling in that way, and I'm talking about the female that was just speaking in the background, I think it's Karen Bass. She is way too emotional. She's not thinking rationally at all.
Use those words. But you didn't use the words that were confusing, so I'm not going to yield to you.
Again, here we go with words that are confusing. Have I not kept saying this? Words, messaging. That's where all the problems stem from that. Einstein. I saw years ago, a bumper sticker that said, the way to peace is not through war. It is through knowledge. And knowledge is how do you learn things besides experience hands-on? Most of it is words, talking, messaging, reading something, words. You're reading words. It's all about communications. All of this, our entire world, we fight, we have peace all the same way with our mouth first. That's where it all starts.
It is my bill.
But you didn't use the words in description of it.
And guess why?
And she doesn't get fired. Like these people don't get reprimanded. You can just yell at each other like that for the whole world to see. If I was their employee personally, which I guess we are, right? Because they're working for us, the government, right? She would be gone. I'd be like, if you don't know how to behave, or at least it would be like a warning. Okay. At least I would give her a warning because this is not productive. And I'm paying you and you're wasting my money if you're not being productive. And you'd feel the same way if it was the same thing on you. If somebody comes to clean your house and they don't really clean it and they want you to pay them, you wouldn't want to pay them and you would get rid of them or at least warn them that if they don't clean it right the next time, you're definitely not paying them. Right? That's my point. Let's grow up. Stop. This is all theater, guys. All of this is theater and it's not real.
It was Ms. Ross who used those words. And if I want to ask questions to Ms. Ross, she could choose whether or not to yield to give the answers. But you covering for her,
not really
she doesn't know the words she uses and cannot in the Judiciary Committee sit and answer the questions on something as important as life or death when I control the time is outrageous.
Are you done?
I'm done when my time's done. And when I'm done, you can yield for those questions. But it's crazy that in this committee, when I'm trying to get honest answers to questions about the effect of the bill, whether or not it paves the way to abortions, that you all want to sit.
And again, why are you interrupting? Everybody knows You're not supposed to interrupt. And usually the judge is there telling you not to interrupt. And there's consequences for interrupting. So why are these people, you can't have good results without good communication. It's not about who's right or wrong, even if whether I'm on this guy's side or not.
Sit up there and squawk at me rather than allow me to ask questions. When you have the time, you can control the time.
Squawk. You see how words are so important? Why did he use the word squawk? And do you guys know what that means? Do you think it was a real depiction or nice adjective description for their behavior? I actually do. We can crack it down. I like a good argument.
Rather
I like
than
a good
allow me
discussion.
to ask questions. When you have the time, you can control the time. How about that? But these are fair questions. She used the phrase unborn child. I would like to know what that means to her, because what it means to us
on a break.
is that it is a life.
Another vibe I'm picking up here, guys, is that this is about male and female as well. This is about women, especially lately. They've allowed this whole mansplaining thing to get to their heads, and again, totally misuse it, totally abuse it, like typical humans. They do. They're fallible. We're fallible. You know what I mean? Even when you're trying to get more rights or feel equal to your opposite sex or people that are different from you, whether it's different age, different gender, different color, race, whatever it is, culture. At the end of the day, that's what's happening. Their reaction is more than just politics and the discussion that's put on the table. It's the fact that they're definitely reacting to him as a male, as an adversary, as somebody that's opposite to them, who they don't like, who think they're less than him. They're clearly showing me that they have a problem with men talking to them when they think they have power and they want to exert their power. But women, and a lot of women, are not used to actually practicing that. So they sound screechy like that, because a woman that's truly empowered doesn't scream like that and doesn't react, because she knows she's not a victim. She knows she's powerful, and nothing will ever change that. These people are already showing me what they really believe in. And they believe this guy's a bad guy just because he has a penis. Trust me on this one.
Life. Well, you know what? To ask questions. When you have the time, you can control the time. How about that? But these are fair questions. She used the phrase unborn child. I would like to know what that means to her, because what it
answer the question. Just answer the question and we'll go from there. What is an unborn child? A child, right? You just called it an unborn child. So it's a human that hasn't been out of the womb yet. Very basic. Women's health care. Abortion is not health care. Health care is when you're sick. Abortion, why are they acting and using abortion as you're sick? If you're pregnant, you're sick. I don't care. You can talk to me all day long. Change the word, make a new word, but don't use health care for that. That's all I'm asking, okay? Because you want me to live your make-believe world. I'm telling you, use the right word and you won't have a problem. Try to force people to believe in something that's not real, you're going to have a problem. I'm trying to help you guys out there, all of you, whatever side. So about reproductive rights. So what is this bill is what I want to know. What's in this bill? Yeah, okay. So they're talking about the unborn children part, which we just saw and heard. Women's reproductive freedom. Nobody's stopping you from reproducing. The whole thing of abortion is to stop something that's already been produced, where you can just have birth control, right? And be preventative, contraceptive. That should be the discussion, left and right, nonstop. This is private. This is a matter for the states. If people want to vote for this right to have it, to have clinics that have doctors that want to and willingly do it, they have the same freedoms that every human has to do whatever they want. But call it what it is. This is games. This is a distraction from what's really going to happen in the whole world, which has been happening, in the implosion and the debt that we've been accruing forever. And since we even left the gold standard in 1971, if you guys didn't know that, like, this is all laid out. That's why I really don't like to spend a lot of time on this. But don't fall for this. Don't fall for this. See, that's why those women started screaming. Something they're doing they know is not right, because if they thought it was right, they could clearly state their point calmly. Believe me on that. And everybody in that room would not disagree with them. Hey, should we save a 5-year-old from falling off a balcony? What do you think, Mr. Gaetz? Should we let the kid just jump off if he feels like it? Or should we be responsible to save that child's life? Can you imagine them arguing about that? There you go. All right. You know what, guys? With that, I'm going to stop for today. Make sure to like, subscribe. Most importantly, hit the notification bell, because right after this, I'm going to be editing the clips for all the individual stories that we talked about live today. Thank you for being here. Much love, many blessings. Have a fantastic day, and don't let the bastards get you down. And I'll talk to you soon.